The Green Bay Packers are a very scary team in the NFC, and they are a true contender. Now, this was a very impressive season for the Green Bay Packers because it was the first season underneath Jordan Love. Over the last decade plus, they were rolling with Aaron Rodgers, and we knew that this day was going to come a couple of years ago when they selected Jordan Love in the first round. And his first season being the official starter was a great season, and I do believe that it has set a precedent for what the Green Bay Packers are going to be moving forward in the NFC. Jordan Love is already one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He had a great season this season underneath Coach LaFleur. 32 passing touchdowns, that was the second most in the NFL, and 11 interceptions for 4,159 passing yards as well. Now, were there some growing pains? Yes, there were. At the middle of the season, the Green Bay Packers did not look good. Their defense were dealing with a lot of injuries, and the defensive system was terrible as well because Joe Barry was a terrible defensive coordinator. And Jordan Love did not have the best weapons on the field because they were dealing with injuries and they were so young. And they're still a very young football team. And that's what makes it so scary about the Green Bay Packers. They were able to go out there and have playoff success with this young squad. You don't expect for a guy like Jordan Love to go out there in his first season and help this team get to the NFL playoffs, let alone win a playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys on the road. And I get it, it's the Dallas Cowboys, but that was one of the best teams in the NFL this season. So give Jordan Love and Coach LaFleur a lot of credit. But I want to start with the defense first. Over the last couple of years, the defense for the Green Bay Packers has not been the best. And it's not because of the players. They have good talent on the field. It was because of defensive coaching. Joe Barry was a terrible defensive coordinator. And I don't know why he ever got the job with the Green Bay Packers, but he is no longer with the Packers. They now have a brand new defensive coordinator coming over from Boston College, and he is thought highly of around NFL circles, and his name is Jeff Hafley. They're going to come in and run a brand new defensive system as well. But when you look at the defensive players on the Green Bay Packers, they have good players, like I just mentioned a couple of seconds ago. Preston Smith on the season had 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Kenny Clark is one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. Devontae Wyatt, 5.5 sacks on the season. He can go out there and stop the run as well. They're very good against the run, but it was their passing defense that was a problem. A lot of it is because Jair Alexander has missed a lot of time over the last couple of years, but this season he was able to stay healthy, and he's one of the best man-to-man corners in the NFL. Eric Stokes just had his 5th-year option decline because he has been able to stay healthy. When he's been on the field, he's shown some signs of being a very good corner. The thing is with Eric Stokes, can you stay healthy enough to make a deep playoff run with the Packers? Right now, history is saying no, but he's shown some good things on the field. He can be a very good number 2 corner alongside Jair Alexander. And they also went out in free agency and they signed Xavier McKinney, who was the best free agent safety that you could go get. 78 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 3 interceptions, and 11 pass deflections on the season. I think that he's going to be a game changer with the defense, and he's going to be an instant playmaker with the Green Bay Packers. And that is something else that the Green Bay Packers have missed out on over the last couple of years, are the takeaways in the secondary. If you can go out there and force the opposing quarterback to put the ball into tough situations against this secondary, and those guys can play up to their full potential, and you're putting the ball back into Jordan Love's hand with that offense that they have, the Green Bay Packers could be a top-tier team this season in the NFL because it was a bit of a roller coaster ride. Like I mentioned before, at the halfway point in the season, they did not look good. But coming towards the end, they did look better. I think that the Green Bay Packers could be a top team in the division that they're in. Yes, you have the Detroit Lions. They're tough. The Chicago Bears, we'll see what they can do with Caleb Williams. And the Minnesota Vikings are not a team to be scoffed at. But when you look at that quarterback position, you can easily say right now that Jordan Love is the best or one of the best quarterbacks in this division. Jared Goff is a very good quarterback. And when you look at Jordan Love, the way that he's able to go out there and manage the game and throw guys open, and he has that freakish arm power, Tom Clemmings has done a great job with developing him over the last couple of years. And the Green Bay Packers are known for developing quarterbacks. They went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers and now Jordan Love, and you love to see that. Far as this offense as a whole, they did go out there and they made some moves as well. They signed Josh Jacobs and they let Aaron Jones go. Most Green Bay Packer fans hate that move, but they understand that move. Aaron Jones in the playoffs is a monster, but in the regular season, he struggled to stay healthy. And I'm worried about Josh Jacobs as well. Just a year ago, he led the league in rushing. This season, he dealt with some injuries. and his numbers were not the greatest. Now, he was not in the best situation with the Las Vegas Raiders. He only had 805 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns on the season, and he averaged 3.5 yards a carry. But he's going to get to play with the best quarterback that he's played with in his entire career. No offense to Derek Carr, no offense to Aiden O'Connell, but Josh Jacobs does not have to worry about the box being stacked as much dealing with Jordan Love. And a play action with this team should go crazy, especially in the red zone, because we know that Coach LaFleur loves to use a lot of misdirection with the offensive line. He likes to motion out wide receivers as well. Josh Jacobs could have a career year for his upcoming season with the Green Bay Packers. The thing is this, can he stay healthy enough with the Packers? Right now, he is a better running back than Aaron Jones. He can catch the football at the backfield, and when he is fully healthy, he's a top 3 running back in the NFL right now. You also have A.J. Dillon, who was dealing with injuries this season, but we already know what he is, an amazing power back. He's going to get you 2 to 3 yards when you need it the most. On the goal line, if it's a 3rd and goal or a 4th and goal, you can get him the football. He's going to keep the chains moving. And they also select the running back as well, Marshawn Lloyd, the running back from USC. He's going to come in and give you very good relief as well if Josh Jacobs needs to come out the game or if A.J. Dillon or Josh Jacobs misses some time. So the running back room is one of the stronger units with this offense, is one of the strongest units on this team in general. The wide receivers, they do bother me because they struggle with injuries as well. And it's a theme with the Green Bay Packers. It's just been an injury-riddled team over the last couple of years. But there were some stars that broke out in that wide receiving room. They do not have a true number 1, but every single last one of these guys that I'm about to name off could be a true number 1 moving forward, which makes the potential with the Green Bay Packers even scarier. Christian Watson has potential to be a true number 1, has struggled with injuries his last 2 seasons in the NFL, his first 2 seasons in the NFL. This is a guy on 28 catches this season, had 422 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns, and he averaged 15 yards a catch. That's ridiculous. Romeo Doubs is also a solid option. 674 receiving yards on the season, 8 receiving touchdowns. You also had Jaden Reed, who came in and looked very good. You can make the case that he was the best wide receiver this season for the Green Bay Packers. He was easily the most consistent with 793 receiving yards and 8 receiving touchdowns on the season. Then there is Dontavion Wicks. 581 receiving yards on the season, 4 receiving touchdowns. He averaged 15 yards a catch as well. All of these guys are under the age of 25. And Jordan Love is 25. One of the youngest offenses in the NFL. And they found a way to go out there and run the football against the Dallas Cowboys and put up major points as well. And they were in that game against the San Francisco 49ers. It came down to a play late in the game where Jordan Love throws the interception over the middle of the field. And guess what? It happens. Brett Favre threw a similar interception in his career as well. It's just a learning experience. So with that underneath their belt, I'm expecting for the Green Bay Packers to go out there and be a tough team. Will they go off to a slow start? We will see. But they have the chance to go out there and be in the driver's seat of this division. Just because the Detroit Lions are a tough team doesn't mean that the Green Bay Packers still can't make the NFL playoffs. They did it this season with the Detroit Lions winning this division. And we all know the running joke. The Packers have owned the Chicago Bears for the last decade plus. So we'll see if that can continue to work on. I also want to talk about the other draft picks they made as well. In the first round, they selected a very good offensive tackle in Jordan Morgan from Arizona. I think he can come in right now and he could be the starting left tackle. We'll see what Coach LaFleur does with that, but he has great potential, and I expect for him to be a franchise tackle moving forward with the Green Bay Packers sooner than later. And it's a move that they had to make. They were depending on David Bakhtiari to possibly come back, but he's missed so much time. They basically just had to go out there and just say, man, you know what? You may never play in the NFL again, and this is the best chance for us to move off of that contract and save some money. So they did that. And it's really sad because David Bakhtiari was a top tackle in the NFL before he dealt with those knee injuries. And it was sad to see the later part of his career basically be cut short because of that. But he's going to continue to do well off the field. He's a very good football mind, and he's a great spokesperson as well. But with the offensive line, I like the pieces that they have, and they're very solid. There's also a very good tight end with this roster as well, and Luke Musgrave. 23 years old. He's still young. I think that he will continue to get better as well. And that's the one thing with the Green Bay Packers. They're so young and they have so many players behind their starters in the rotation that could come off the bench and give you good relief if you need them to. They selected Javon Bullard, safety from Georgia, another good player that can play alongside Xavier McKinney. I expect for him to come in and be a starting safety alongside Xavier McKinney, a young player, but he's going to come in and make immediate adjustments. He's going to come in and make an immediate impact with the Green Bay Packers. You also have Lucas Van Ness, who had a solid rookie season. He was able to get after the quarterback, had 4 sacks in the season, but he was a rotational defensive lineman. So their defensive line, if guys do go down, they can just get some guys off the bench and continue to go out there and get pass rush. I like what the Green Bay Packers are building. Their trenches are very good on the defensive end, and they've been selecting some very good defensive players. It just comes down to what this brand new defensive coordinator really wants to do with this defense. But I expect for the defense to be better than it ever was underneath Joe Barry. And that's one thing with the Green Bay Packers. That's been their Achilles heel. Even with Aaron Rodgers in the last stage of his career with the Packers, a lot of Packer fans saying, hey, we have Devontae Adams, we have Aaron Rodgers, we even have Aaron Jones. Our defense continues to let us down. If the defense just go out there and just be above average, they can go out there and possibly make a NFC Championship appearance. That is how great Jordan Love is right now. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about the Green Bay Packers? Did they just have one great year underneath Jordan Love, or are the Green Bay Packers a legitimate team? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.